Alright, here we go. Welcome back to the Apothecary Diaries anime review, episode number 13. Yes, there will actually be one more episode of this, and then the next time you see this come out will be when new episodes released dubbed. Now, I thought basically they released new episode today, but no, not the case. Apparently, the anime decided to postpone the next episode by a week, so even the dubs take a week off. So officially, with this one, I have only 2 more episodes left to go. So in the case of Mao Mao, we basically what we see of her across these 2 episodes, 41 and 42, Fox Village, and the other one is Lantern Plant. She seemed like a good chunk of 41, and a little bit of 42, and a lot of it is basically Rear Power stuff. Let's talk about Mao Mao first, where basically we pick up right where we left off with her last episode, where she and the former low-level concubine, where she and a servant girl who actually is a friend of hers, who turns out later on Zach, well, I'll give you a minute. So then, of course, they're taken away from the Red Palace, and then apparently, according to Mao Mao, they apparently switched ships twice, and then they arrive at some village where we also found out, thanks to apparently the older one, where she is afraid of snakes. Also, the fact that Mao Mao's friend, So Sweet, I think her name is, she actually is the younger sister of this woman. And then when you get to the village, there's a young boy who refers to the girl as basically his big sister. So, and they're a sibling. Like, oh, you're right at time for the festival. Mama was coerced to come here. The other 2 basically come here willingly. Yeah. And then, of course, it's all about the dignitaries from when they visit the emperor, and then they get invited to the inn, and that's it. After that, we don't see him for the rest of these episodes. Like, a lot of that is actually from 41. I think it's all 41. So, meanwhile, at the Rear Palace, well, basically everybody's worried about Mao Mao. They keep searching for her. They can't find her. They apparently can't think of looking at the clinic. And so, by the way, her adoptive father is basically very sad the fact she's missing. When her actual father finds out, we'll get to that. So, then of course then he checks on Lady Ginshao, where she's about to give birth. Well, she's actually in labor, but she's going through contractions. But Mao Mao basically did a procedure that allowed the baby to switch directions, so it was able to give birth normally, so it wouldn't have a... Basically, they call it something else here, but it's what it actually is, a C-section. Yes, so they don't have to cut her open to go and get the baby, which is probably nice. And of course, the doctor takes away the cat. We actually explain where the cat comes from now. Yes, apparently the other servant, where she actually was not registered, and also she's the one who brought the cat into the Rear Palace. And as for the concubine, she basically decided to pose as a eunuch to slip in. And then this person disappeared. The suspect is supposed to be a guy. And also, they apparently decided to visit a graveyard for deceased late concubine. Well, how should I put this? Deceased minors who had to spend the night with the previous emperor because the man was a pedophile. It's a good thing the current emperor is not like that in all this show. He's strict, yes, but even he basically is going for more women he's supposed to go for, not women who are really, really young. At least he doesn't go after freaking 10-year-olds. Shit, that was freaking stupid. So, then the court. Here's the thing. Josh Sheen actually remembers this particular. He knows about this graveyard. And just by sheer coincidence, he just happens to run into the head of the clique who, get this, when she sees him, she tries to kill herself. All because he looks like the Emperor. The late Emperor, mind you. The reason why, because he's actually the Emperor's second son. Yes. Yeah. And of course, then the grave she was at, which are these lantern plants, that connects to, get this. So that is actually connected to one of the current concubines, which when he pays a visit to the concubine, she is actually not there, despite the fact she's supposed to be there. She has escaped. Yeah, so apparently the whole thing with her was temporary. And she's able to figure out right away that the one he's speaking to is actually not the concubine. How? By her mold. Yes. Because he knew everybody in this pavilion by all the face features. He memorized everything about them. And he knew what the current concubine looked like. And as soon as he saw her, it's like he walked up to her very aggressively and points out, though, "You are not the concubine. Where is your mistress?" She has fled. And they talk to ladies in waiting. They talk to their servants there. Yeah, they have no idea where she went. People with the clinic are questioning about what the head was up to. They apparently knew nothing about what she was up to at all. Okay. And then Lockhart finds out his daughter is missing, so he goes on a rampage breaking stuff, including the palace gate. Yes, he broke the palace gate by shoving a freaking pillar into it. So then, while discussing stuff, when Joshing gets a visit from Lockhart's adopted son, who also happens to be Mama's adopted brother, and finds out about these discrepancies with finances, like stuff that's being price hiked for unknown reasons. And he's like, okay, this is nice. You basically, but you probably did it for a favor. Yes. In exchange for allowing him to continue to investigate this, you give his father a discount on rebuilding the gate. Which Joshin has no problem with that at all. Continue the investigation, find out what the heck is going on here. And apparently these are actually excerpts from actual treasury notes. And he found them to be too long, so basically he basically wrote down the important stuff. The things he found at a place. He's kind of like Locken, because Locken probably trained him. I kind of think the kid's pretty smart. Yeah. At least he's wearing a monocle. He wears actual glasses. Yeah, he wears glasses, obviously, but the kid is smart. Yep. Of course, Joshing is one of the Mammoths. Of course, he's one of the whole time of these two episodes. But these episodes are really good. It's like we're building for something here. And of the episodes aired so far, there's like 4 left. But I'm only going to do 2 more because that's what's released dubbed. As for when, I may finish up tonight, maybe tomorrow, depends. And then summer next anime. Okay, so yeah, that's to give a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. I'm gonna see you on a bit after my stream. Okay, next video. Bye.